to Fearless Friday, your day to reclaim your weekend and your life. This week's topic is going to be a continuation of what we've talked about over the past couple weeks. Over the past couple weeks, we've looked at the anchors that we've had in our life that have given us a false sense of stability and a false sense of we think it is to go with the ebb and flow of life. And when we look at that anchor, when we pull that anchor up and look at it for what it is, that metaphorical elephant in the room, we realize what it is that we're afraid of and why we're not dealing with that anchor, why we're not dealing with that situation in our life. And last week I encouraged you to speak your truth and to stand in your truth and to also stay in your truth. And this week we're going to talk about what happens when you actually do that, when you actually speak your truth and when you're just totally open and saying, okay, this is me and this is my truth. And you know, last week I mentioned when you speak your truth, to do it openly without expectation, and that can be really, really scary. And when you do that, when you're waiting for the other person to respond, or you're waiting for the other side of things to manifest or to happen, it's really, really easy to let yourself be shaken. Many times when we speak our truth and we stand in our truth and we stay in our truth, many, many times we start to question our self-worth, we start to question our value, and our self-esteem starts to waver. Our self-confidence will start to waver. So during this time when you are speaking your truth and standing in your truth, no matter how scary it may be, notice and become aware of these things that pop up, your self-worth, your value in life. Okay, so self-worth versus self-esteem. Self-worth is, are you really allowed to have a fabulous life? Do you feel worthy to have a fabulous life? Self-esteem is, well, today I'm looking pretty good, so I'm feeling pretty good, and maybe you're dressed all beautifully and someone says, oh my gosh, I can't believe that you're wearing that, and so your self-esteem may go down, and then someone else sees you, oh my gosh, you're beautiful today, then your self-esteem goes up. Self-esteem can fluctuate moment to moment. Your self-worth is rooted in childhood. And many times, if we see unhealthy relationships with alcohol, with people, with money, with food, unhealthy relationships all around, that can influence how we feel and how we see those relationships in our life. So if you are in a place right now where you're trying to speak your truth, or you really want to speak your truth, or you have spoken your truth, and now you're standing there wide open, scared to death because you're like, oh my gosh, I just shared my truth and this is really freaking scary. And you feel your self-worth start to waver. You start to question, am I being selfish because I want to be happy? Am I being selfish because I'm not happy and I want something better? Look at your relationships as a child. Look at your relationships with money, if that's what this is about. If it is about being fulfilled in a relationship, if it's about any other facet of your life. And we are in relations with other people and other things and other energies, and that's why I say relationships. And all of this is tied together. All of this is tied to your self-worth and how you see yourself and the value that you see within you. And one of the things that I would encourage you for this week, I challenge you to look at yourself and know that you are worth it. You are worth having a fabulous life. You are worth being happy. Every nuance of your body has so much value. It's immeasurable. But me telling you is not going to do you any good. You have to believe it yourself. You have to believe that this situation that I'm in right now, even though it's not fulfilling and it's not healthy, I can have something better in the future. And that future might even be tomorrow. It might be next week, it might be next month, or it might be next year. But the key is to realize you're not being selfish. You're not being selfish for wanting the best for you and your life. You're not being selfish for wanting that total fulfillment. We're spiritual beings having a human experience. This is part of that human experience, is realize that, you know what, I can have everything I want. I can be happy and fulfilled in life. And I can have all the things that I want. I just have to ask for it. I just need to be specific, and I need to speak and stand in my truth. And when you speak and stand in your truth, as I mentioned, it really can be scary. But when you do it, it's so freeing. And the weight that's lifted off of your body is just, it's huge. It really is huge. So I really encourage you this coming week, this next week, whenever you watch this video, for the next 7 days, I challenge you to continue to speak your truth and know that you're not being selfish. Know that you're being self-caring in wanting what's best for you and your life and your spirit. And when you feel your self-worth maybe start to waver, when you feel your self-esteem maybe start to waver, maybe your self-confidence start to waver, go within and ask yourself, do I feel that this is something I deserve? And if you notice yourself feeling like, well, I just feel kind of selfish because I want to be all the way fulfilled. I want to be fulfilled in every facet, in every aspect of my life. Know that you're not being selfish. You're being self-caring. And I encourage you to, if your self-worth is in question, if you feel like you're not worthy of having a fabulous relationship with money, with people, with whomever or whatever, go back and look at your childhood relationships and start to do some self-work about your self-worth, and know that you are worth it and you have so much value. Your value is immeasurable. Know this. And when you know this and feel it, you will become fearlessly inspired. I promise you. Well, I hope you have enjoyed this video. If you have, give it a thumbs up, share it with your friends on Facebook and Twitter, and better yet, subscribe. And please leave your comments below. See you next time. Bye-bye.